Imagine a world where every single bank in Japan is using XRP. That was the bold prediction made by some of the top banking leaders in Japan. Now, clearly that exact scenario didn't materialize, but what if I told you that what's coming next could be even bigger? In today's video, we're diving deep into why there is tremendous optimism surrounding XRP heading into 2026 and why recent developments indicate something monumental may be on the horizon. I'm going to break down key connections between Ripple and some of the largest financial institutions across the globe. You won't want to miss this. Hey guys, welcome back to Whiteboard Crypto Update. In today's video, we'll talk about XRP. So be sure to stay focused, as you surely don't want to miss out on this. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. Please remember, this is not a financial advice video. First, let's start with the most recent headline. Ripple has just announced a new partnership with one of Japan's top 3 banks. I'm going to skip pronouncing the name because I'd probably butcher it. But what matters is that this adds yet another heavyweight bank to Ripple's network, covering 2 of Japan's largest institutions. Earlier today, a Bank of Japan insider even posted about XRP, only to delete it moments later. That little move tells us there's more happening behind the scenes than most people realize. If we look back, the XRP community has been tracking a web of partnerships for years. Santander, HSBC, Teos, MoneyGram, CME, Accenture, Vanguard, SBI, and now this new Japanese bank. Graphics, documents, and leaked materials have repeatedly hinted at these relationships. For years, skeptics dismissed this information as overly bullish, calling it a pipe dream that major banks would ever adopt XRP. But now, as real partnerships roll out, it's becoming clear that much of the early research and speculation by the XRP community was spot on. Consider this: American Express, Santander, Accenture, Teos, BI, and now Japan's top banks are actively collaborating with Ripple. While some of the old charts and documents weren't perfectly precise, time after time, partnerships hinted at in leaks have come to fruition. Think MasterCard, Bank of America, and others. The lesson here is simple. Just because a partnership isn't live publicly doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Ripple has had deep, long-standing ties with major financial institutions for years, and now we're finally seeing some of those relationships take shape publicly. One question that often comes up is, why hasn't Ripple shouted all of this from the rooftops? Why aren't these banks promoting it? The answer is straightforward: secrecy. Many of these institutions are not ready to go public with blockchain partnerships due to regulatory concerns, competitive worries, or the fear of setting unrealistic expectations. Banks want to avoid giving competitors a blueprint to follow or risk backlash from regulators. This is why announcements are slow to appear, even if the groundwork has been laid. We've seen similar behavior in other areas of finance. Take Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, for example. For years, he dismissed crypto as a fraud or a passing trend. Then suddenly, he declares crypto has matured and says the experiment phase is over. What changed? The reality is that institutions have been quietly working in the background, exploring implementation strategies, forming partnerships, and developing products. They weren't ready to reveal it publicly before, but now the landscape has shifted. These organizations are no longer content to wait on the sidelines. Think of it like a snowball rolling downhill. The momentum has started and it's picking up speed. Banks now face pressure not to be the last to adopt blockchain technology because customers are demanding new-age financial solutions. Falling behind could mean losing clients to competitors who embrace innovation first. So while these institutions may not want to be first, they certainly can't afford to be last. What this means for XRP is significant. All those documents, forums, posts, and charts we've seen over the years, they were largely accurate. Some partnerships may not have worked out, sure, but the majority show Ripple's deep penetration into the global financial ecosystem. Whether it's Vanguard, BlackRock, or other major institutions, Ripple's connections are extensive and long-standing. And unless these companies discover viable alternatives outside of Ripple, they will ultimately return to XRP to facilitate these partnerships. Now, let's talk market perception. Many investors get caught up in price movements and assume the narrative is dictated solely by charts. But the reality is that the market often discounts adoption, partnerships, and real-world utility in favor of short-term price swings. If you analyze an investment based solely on current price action, your chances of success are basically a coin flip. But if you focus on fundamentals, partnerships, technology, market adoption, you increase your odds substantially. Looking at XRP itself, the long-term picture remains bullish. Sure, we've seen downtrends over the past few months, but this is completely normal. Comparing XRP's price and chart patterns today with where it was in 2017 shows remarkable similarity. There's no evidence to suggest that XRP won't see higher highs in the future. And remember, charts are just representations of human emotion. They are not guarantees of future performance. Real adoption and utility are what drive long-term value. Imagine if XRP were adopted tomorrow by the Federal Reserve for cross-border liquidity between nations. Its value could soar to unimaginable heights. Conversely, if the ledger failed or adoption stalled, price charts wouldn't matter. It could go to zero. That's why fundamentals, not short-term charts, should guide your perspective. XRP has the potential to attract enormous net capital if these partnerships succeed, and all signs suggest Ripple is on the cusp of a major breakthrough. In conclusion, the recent partnership with a top Japanese bank, coupled with Ripple's long-standing connections with global financial giants, signals that XRP adoption is entering a new phase. We're seeing the early snowball start to roll, and it's only a matter of time before the broader market begins to recognize what the XRP community has known for years. Ripple is deeply embedded in the financial system, and the next big wave could be just around the corner. Well, guys, that's all we have for you today. What are your thoughts on XRP? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. If you guys liked this video, then be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again in the next video. Goodbye.